Hi, my name's Bruce Mack, co-founder of Platinum Trust Group. Thanks for joining us here today. I want to give you a quick little overview of what we do. We have a proprietary, copyrighted asset protection, tax mitigation, wealth transference, and privacy tool like none other. Now, people think that it's C and S or LLC, when you have one of those corporate types of structures, gives you the asset protection that you need in the event of a suit to safeguard you against a lien, a levy, or judgment. I'm here to tell you they don't. We've seen those set aside and those types of entities pierced consistently, unlike the fact that if you have a properly constructed trust, there's never been a properly constructed trust pierced when you have the type of structure that we're talking about with a spendthrift provision. Can't happen. The only time it could ever possibly happen is if they could allege fraudulent conveyance. Fraudulent conveyance is very simple to discuss. Fraudulent conveyance is, let's just say you've been noticed or been served a lawsuit. Okay, great. And then what? Once you've been served that lawsuit, you have the unfortunate reality of not being able to get a trust because it's too late. The action already happened. So this is why when people ask the consistent question, hey Bruce, when's the best time to get set up with a trust? I always say today, because you never know what might happen tomorrow. One of your kids may get into an awful car accident. You may have an umbrella. And even if you have an umbrella, one of the things that people are not aware of is that they do not cover for punitive damages. So again, a trust is the absolute best assurance and insurance, so to speak, for asset protection. Then we talk about the fact that the trust is the absolute best vehicle for wealth transference multi-generationally. We have a dynasty provision in our trust. It's meant to endure for hundreds and hundreds of years to be able to get the assets generationally and keep the estate wealth intact. Then we talk about our tax mitigation component, which may be one of the most compelling and the most exciting component. Because of the multi-generational wealth transference capabilities, when one transfers the ownership of their crypto accounts from them personally to them in a trust environment, and then the trust elects through the direction of the trustee to sell the asset, 100% of the capital gains, whether it's short-term capital gains or long-term capital gains, becomes deferred in perpetuity. Well, what do we mean by that? What do we mean by that is it does not, that deferred tax does not come due until the trust distributes. So that begs the question, when does the trust distribute? Well, the trust distributes automatically 21 years after the death of the last sole surviving beneficiary to the last sole surviving heir. The trust, like I said previously, is meant to endure for potentially hundreds of years, and it's really academic when that is. The fact is that when the trust does distribute, everyone who is ever directly or indirectly related to the trust has passed on, so they're not going to incur the direct tax liability of any deferral that happened to that point. So these are significant reasons that people are opting to get our copyrighted proprietary trust to be able to get the advantages, the tax advantages, the asset protection advantages, the wealth transference advantages, as well as the privacy advantage.
And one last question, what's your opinion about the tax structure in India?
The tax structure in India? Well, I have to tell you, I'm a domestic, if you will, strategist, meaning domestic here in the United States, and not really understanding thoroughly what the tax situation is in India. I always like to say, when I'm not qualified, rather than saying something and sticking my foot in my mouth, I'd rather take a pass and speak to, understand, and then be able to become educated on the taxes and the tax laws in India.